America's top diplomat leaves Ankara with little to show. It was Antony Blinken's final stop on a whirlwind tour of the Middle East, his second to the region since October 7, but the first to include Turkey and a sit-down meeting with his counterpart, Hakan Fidan. The meeting with Fidan lasted 2.5 hours. The duo have already held multiple calls since the crisis in Gaza began, but this was their first face-to-face encounter. And Fidan has made it clear to the US where Turkey stands, with the civilians of Palestine. According to Turkish diplomatic sources, Turkey and the US agreed on the need to protect civilians and deliver humanitarian aid. Turkey has already sent more than 200 tons of supplies to Egypt for Gaza and has offered to set up a field hospital to treat the wounded. Blinken says his meeting with Fidan was fruitful.
We just had a very good, lengthy, productive conversation with Foreign Minister Fidan here in Turkey on the humanitarian piece. I think we've made some good progress in recent days in working to expand that. Ambassador Satterfield remains in the region working that every single day.
Turkey has been helping to de-escalate regional tensions, holding discussions with officials from Iran and other countries in recent weeks. Ankara has ties with the political office of Hamas and also with Israel, enabling it to play a mediating role in talks to free hostages held in Gaza. The US and Turkey both support a two-state solution to the Israel-Palestine issue.
We've also had very important conversations throughout this trip with countries in the region on the role that everyone can play in making sure that the conflict doesn't expand, doesn't spread.
However, despite broad areas of convergence, the US and Turkey do not see eye to eye on fundamental parts of the crisis. Turkish diplomatic sources say that in the meeting, Fidan reinforced the need for an immediate ceasefire and called on his US counterpart to prevent Israel from targeting civilians and displacing people in Gaza. The US has provided unconditional support for Israel and continues to shun calls for a ceasefire, only backing temporary humanitarian pauses. This position has been rejected by other regional states, which share Turkey's commitment. Blinken's trip largely failed to forge a regional consensus and left Washington looking isolated. But despite the increasingly desperate situation in Gaza, there is little sign of the US abandoning Israel anytime soon. Rupert Stone, TRT World.